Imagine you are standing at the base of a colossal mountain, the kind that seems to touch the sky. The air is crisp and cool, and you can feel your heart racing with excitement. This is it. Your dream of climbing to the summit and your goal you've envisioned for years is almost ready to happen. But as you gaze up at the peak, the one that you can barely see, a wave of nerves washes over you. Now you're almost paralyzed in fear just thinking about it. I can't see the path ahead. I don't have the right equipment. What if I get lost? Where do I even begin? It's okay. We all have our mountains that we want to climb. If fear or doubt is stopping you from achieving your big goal, please know you are not alone and don't blame yourself. Our brains don't like uncertainty. And without a clear path, those big dreams can start to feel like impossible daydreams. Today, I'm going to share with you the step-by-step method I use to achieve goals. No matter how big or small, this method works for me every single time. If you're like me, sometimes your mind finds a way to stop yourself from starting a new goal. This is actually a pretty common thing called the big goal trap. Our brains become overwhelmed by the sheer size and complexity of a goal. For me, it occurs most often when my goal seems massive and distant from start to finish. It's like my brain goes into shutdown mode. That's when the self-doubt starts creeping in and it's all downhill from there. But over time, I've developed a method that has given me focus, clarity, and most important, helped me get the results that I want. In fact, I'm using it right now as I create a YouTube channel. Let me take you through my 4-step process. Step 1, define your end result. You want to get crystal clear on what you want to achieve. Be specific. When I sat down to create Goal Nuggets, my goal was not to just create a YouTube channel. That was way too vague. Instead, I took the time to determine what I really wanted out of my goal. My 2 overarching goals is that I wanted to help people in their development journey by providing meaningful content, and I wanted to create an income stream to provide financial security. This was getting closer, but it still wasn't defined good enough. So I got more granular and defined what would be success by defining what my channel would look like as far as subscribers, monthly views, income generated, and viewer feedback and engagement. Now I have the metrics I need to achieve in order to know if I'm going in the right direction to achieve my goal. In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey calls this begin with the end in mind. And for me, this is an extremely motivating activity that really gets me pumped. But it does take some time, effort, and a little thought. But the work is definitely worth it. Maybe you want to be healthier, start a new career, change a bad habit, or enter into a new relationship. Whatever it is, defining what your end result might be, and in the clearest way you can, is your first step. Step number 2, set deadlines. Listen, a goal without a timeline is just a wish. Deadlines give your goal the urgency and structure it needs to keep moving forward. It's important to realize that we can become so reactive to things that come our way that we actually think we're making progress, but in reality, we are stuck in neutral. This causes us to lose steam as we become demotivated. I know one of my weaknesses is getting too caught up in the details. I can easily spend a week writing a script or focusing too much on a thumbnail or a description. By giving myself a deadline for each task, it makes me focus on the most important and not to obsess over the things that really won't add significant value. Maybe you're the type of person who doesn't like to get started until everything is perfect. Do yourself a huge favor and give yourself a deadline. This is going to help you focus on the really important items that you need to do. The details, they're going to work themselves out. Trust me. Step number 3 is the most crucial step of all. But before we get to it, I just want to thank you for watching, and I hope that you're finding a ton of value in this video. If so, be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get more Goal Nuggets. Step number 3, break it down. This is the most important step because this is the core of what makes the process so successful, and that's creating milestones. Milestones are like checkpoints in your goals journey. They break this big, overwhelming goal into small, actionable pieces. Think of it like this. Each time you hit your milestone, think of how great you're going to feel. And with every milestone you achieve, your confidence and motivation is going to grow. And it provides the motivation you need to keep going. Here's a game-changing tip, and it's called the 10% rule. Break your goal down until each milestone feels like it's only 10% of the goal. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. 10% of 20 pounds is only 2 pounds. If you set a milestone of losing only 2 pounds, you are much more likely to respond to this than thinking, I've got to lose 20 pounds. When something feels 10% possible, your brain doesn't panic. It actually gets excited. It's saying, thank you for giving me something I can actually achieve. And number 4, celebrate your progress. This is the most overlooked and neglected strategy. Why is that? Because most people focus too much on their goal and tell themselves that they can't celebrate until they've reached it. Essentially, what they're doing is depriving themselves of a lot of enjoyment. You've heard the saying, it's not the destination, but the journey. This is exactly what we mean when we talk about celebrating your progress along the way. And science actually backs up the claim of celebrating progress. When you recognize small wins, your brain releases dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. This is the feel-good chemical that makes you feel accomplished. And every time you celebrate small wins, it strengthens neural pathways and reinforces neural connections in your brain. Over time, these pathways become automatic and can have a huge impact over time in boosting your emotional state and help counter negative self-talk. Every time I create a new script, I celebrate. Every time I create a new video, I celebrate. Why? Well, believe me, it feels great, and I also want to enjoy the journey. In fact, using this strategy over time, you may just find yourself seeking out new and exciting challenges instead of dreading them. Here's the bottom line. You can achieve big goals, and they are achieved through small, consistent steps. Here's your next action step. I've created a free guide that outlines each of these steps that we covered today. Download the guide, pick one big goal, and start breaking it down using these steps. I would love to cheer you on, so let me know what that one big awesome goal of yours is. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to subscribe to Gold Nuggets and hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss a new tip to help you achieve your goals. And if you want to learn another crucial component of achieving goals, check out this video, and I'll see you next time.